look how many times the Babylon Bee
Yeah.
has been like fact checked, or they got fact checked. This is my favorite one to bring up. They got fact checked for saying that CNN buys giant washing machines so they can spin the news before they air it. And they got fact checked on that. Like, they did not actually buy washing machines. Like, can you imagine how stupid you are being the straight man on that?
Are they fact checked by AI? Like, what are they fact checked by?
They're fact checked by millennials, probably.
Do you think so?
I don't know.
Like, how could they be fact checked for something that dumb? Giant washing machines, like that. That's almost like I'm wondering if this is farmed out to AI.
It might be. Like, they've been fact checked a number of times though on things that are very obviously fake.
Well, they have to know that they've destroyed their business.
They have no credibility left.
And they have to think that, but the thing about the 90% drop in their ratings last year, they want to say that it's because of scandals. That's like what it, because,
well, those don't
Cuomo,
help.
and
but
they don't help. The two guys, again, two more people that got busted being pedophiles,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
That were on their staff,
Yeah.
which is fucking wild. Producers.
totally nuts.
Right.
Totally
Producer
out of
for
control.
Jake Tapper, and there's a producer for, who else was the other producer? Was it Cuomo?
Yes, I think so. Because he got maybe.
I don't know.
I can't remember. Two high-level producers, though.
But most people don't know that, though. Most people aren't even aware of that
No, it's
because
just
they
that
never even covered it.
Right, it's that their programming sucks.
It's not just that it sucks, but it's preposterous.
Preposterous.
Yeah, it's preposterous.
It's like Solzhenitsyn says, we know they're lying, they know they're lying,
Yeah.
we know they know, the whole thing.
It's also the smugness in which they disseminate propaganda. That people know that they're full of shit, and they're doing it with a smugness, and it turns people off.
Turns them way off.
It would turn people off even if they were accurate.
Yeah. Yeah, that attitude sucks.
It sucks.
It's like, I remember when I was a kid, like my mom being like, what you're saying might be right, but your attitude sucks or whatever, if I was smart enough.
It's also an extreme lack of understanding of human nature. The way they discuss things, like one of the things they were talking about, shaming people, like whether or not we should start shaming, people for not following the public health guidelines that have changed over and over again and been proven over and over again to be wrong.
Right.
Oh, you can't shame them. You can't call them stupid. You can't call them silly. Yes, they are. The people who aided and abetted Trump are stupid because they believed his big lie. The people who are not getting vaccines, who are believing the lies on the internet instead of science, it's time to start shaming them. What else? Or leave them behind.
Like, what are you fucking saying?
See, this is
you're on the news, and you're talking about shaming people.
Shaming people, yeah. This is what I'm telling you, dude. This is why I actually am hopeful. I am cautiously optimistic. It's not going to fix itself.
But because of the drop-off of their...
Well, not specifically the drop-off. It's that they are so arrogant that they think they can just get away with anything. And what that causes is people to see through it.
Yeah.
And when enough people see through it, I mean, their ratings are going to drop 90%, and then other forces are going to come into play, or, protests are going to start coming up, or whatever else. And
one of my favorite ones was when Brian Stelter was talking about how what a shame it was that there are programs on YouTube that get more ratings than CNN in prime time. And I remember thinking, like, what? Do you think you guys, that people owe you ratings?
Yeah.
Like, do you think you deserve ratings?
They're so arrogant.
Like, what do you think ratings are coming from? Do you think, like, this concept that CNN is a respectable news source, like, bro, this is 2022.
Yeah.
Or 2021 when that was happening.
Yeah.
Like, this is not 2005. Like,
right.
That ship has sailed, kid.
Yeah.
Like,
no, it's
you don't know that
entitlement. I'm cautiously optimistic because I think they're just going to keep making mistakes.
But it's so wild that that's the big one. You know, like, that's the one controversial. Like, CNN used to be rock fucking solid.
Yeah.
That used to be the place that I would go for everything.
Yeah, of course.
I would go to CNN.com like first thing in the morning, see what's happening in the world. Now I look at them like, what kind of spin are they putting on this?
What nonsense is this?
How little have you investigated into this story to spread it this way?
Right. Yeah. How is this racism, or racism is a public health threat now, or whatever else it is?
There's a little spin on this story too.
Yeah.
It's 90% down from where it was from this week last year, which was the week that the riots happened, which would have been
Oh,
everyone
sure, that's a
fucking
spin.
watching the news.
Right.
Oh
So
yeah, that's a
Yeah,
little
that's a spin.
that's a little dodgy.
I went
Yeah.
back to 2019 when they were going up, and they were getting just over 1 million viewers a day ish.
at the best.
Yeah,
And that was before the
was like
the
middle of Trump.
elections.
Yeah.
In the middle of
The
Trump.
thing, the Trump thing, for sure, they lost 50% because that was like an objective analysis of all of their ratings.
Yeah,
and they
yeah.
were talking
That
about
was a
like
big
across
thing.
the board.
That was a
That's
big-
a giant number.
That's a
man.
lot of people.
Because that means you're dependent upon conflict. So that
Yeah.
sets up what you're doing, that you have to find some outrage.
And that's the other thing. People get outrage fatigue. Like, no one wants to
Yes.
listen to that crap all the
Right.
time. Like, people just want some normal life, man.
Also, you can't force outrage.
Nope.
Like when it's not really that outrageous,
like J6.
yeah.
Like, we have to be all really mad about this thing a year later, and they polled a bunch of Democrats, and they're like, it's not really on my list of concerns.
My favorite is when they ask Kamala Harris questions. And then she gives like a kid in 7th grade essay, like when they're trying to fill the 150 words that you have to use or whatever the fuck it is. Like, it is crazy to hear her talk about it. Pearl Harbor, Civil War, 9/11,
and
and then January 6th.
January 6th.
Certain dates echo throughout history, including dates that instantly remind all who have lived through them where they were and what they were doing when our democracy came under assault. December 7th, 1941, September 11th, 2001, and January 6th, 2021.
Where, a bunch of fucking morons went
Yeah.
to the Capitol and probably were instigated by the feds.
Right. And
to
what
do
did
so.
what did Norm Macdonald say about it? He said, how great it was that they respected the velvet ropes in Statuary Hall. God, what a genius.